So I'm Tim, the CTO and co-founder of Eucalyptus Labs. I was born and raised in Wisconsin, USA, but I've been living in Germany, southern Germany, south of Munich now for about 14 years now, how the time flies. Prior to that, like Kobe said, I was CTO at Koinami for about 1.5 years. Prior to that, I was CTO and co-founder at Gnome. That's a small startup company out of Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's a startup in the AI field, specifically neuromorphic processors using memristors as synapses. If you haven't heard of a memristor before, it's a relatively new type of electrical component, sort of like a resistor whose resistance changes based on how much current flows through it. So if you pair two of them together, you can create this synapse and start building up neurons in bigger and more complex hierarchies to solve machine learning problems at a hardware level. It's pretty cool. Prior to that, I pursued degrees in physics at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, a bachelor's degree in physics. Then I got a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering at the University of Minnesota in the Twin Cities. And then at the University of Washington in Seattle, I got a master's degree in electrical engineering. Around 2011, late 2011, I believe it was, in early 2012, I stumbled upon Satoshi's white paper on Reddit. I think the Bitcoin subreddit at that point had, 10,000. It was just after the peak to $30 and the crash back down to $1. I remember as it was picking up, I think I wired over $1 to Mt. Gox at that point and bought a third of a Bitcoin or something, right? When they were $3 each. Unfortunately, I don't have those anymore, just like everyone's story. But anyway, that's how I got into crypto back in the day. I remember really being fascinated by it, and I wanted to dig into the code to understand. I'm usually driven by curiosity and big challenges, and this was the perfect opportunity, something I wanted to dive into deeper. I remember contacting the two developers of the multi-bit wallet. That was one of the most popular Bitcoin wallets. I think after the main core wallet had a nicer UI. Through them, I also got in contact with Mike Hearn. He was one of the original developers of Bitcoin J. And I asked the guys, how can I help make this wallet better? And actually had to dig into the old emails from back then to remind myself of how this all went down. But yeah, so I emailed them, asked them how I could help with the wallet. And they said, you know what we're missing in the wallet? Prices. Of course, back in the day, the only exchange out there really was Mt. Gox. So I said, okay, how can we get prices in here? And I came to know that Mt. Gox actually had an API for prices. So I started writing some Java code. My favorite programming language is Java. I've been doing it since, 1998, during my computational physics classes at the university. Yeah, so I made a quick little simple Java interface to the Mt. Gox API. I remember writing some emails directly to Mark, what was his last name? Karapolis or whatever, asking him about, certain API endpoints and why it's crashing and stuff like that. And after a little bit, I realized a lot of other people, or not people, but developers probably also have an interest of getting access to Mt. Gox's API. So I actually made an open source library at that time, and I called it Exchange. And the first implementation of an interface to these different what turned out to be multiple exchanges was Mt. Gox. Then we added, I think, Kraken, and there was one called Trading Hill or Trade Hill, like that, something like that. And then another one out of Colorado, something with a bull or something. I don't remember. But anyway, long story short, to wrap this up, I'm still maintaining the Exchange open source project. So if there's any Java developers out there who want to get market data or build an app where users can buy and sell cryptocurrencies, then go check out Exchange. It's got over 4,000 stars now, I think, on GitHub.
I didn't know you ran Exchange. That's really cool.
Yeah, you've heard of it?
Yeah, I've seen it a few times.
Yep, that's me. Awesome.
Huh. That's okay. Small world.
Yeah.